we know a lot about Khamzat. We know that, first of all, we know that style, that seek and destroy, throw yourself into the fire style. And maybe you're cutting the weight easy. It depends on the person, I guess, because some people are cutting the weight easy.
Really?
Yeah, some people are being. There's people that cut a shitload of weight, but some people are being pretty smart about it. I think 85 to 70 is really good. Khamzat,
he's big.
He's fucking huge.
I remember we saw him backstage in Florida, I think.
Nobody's finished Izzy like that in a fight. Ever. Whenever you have these exchanges and you see these winging punches come Izzy's way, anything can happen. And when you're tired and you're not moving back as good as you were in the second tap, you got to give it up to that.
It's hard for me to give it up to him. I don't.
UFC 319 is right around the corner, and Joe Rogan has finally shared his thoughts on the upcoming middleweight title fight between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus Du Plessis. Rogan praised Chimaev's skills, especially on the ground, saying his grappling is on a completely different level. According to Rogan, Chimaev doesn't just outlast his opponents, he completely overwhelms them in ways no one else in the division can.
The Khamzat's skill is so high level, it makes me wonder. It appears that in terms of like the grappling that he possesses seems magnitudes greater than anybody else in his division.
Joe Rogan gave his take on Khamzat Chimaev's skills, saying they're so advanced it's hard to see how someone like Dricus Du Plessis could handle them. He did acknowledge Du Plessis as a strong, durable fighter with solid wrestling and jiu-jitsu. But even with all that, Rogan admitted he's not convinced it'll be enough to withstand the non-stop pressure Chimaev brings.
Like, this was just a overwhelming victory. Khamzat just charged in, dove in, got him down, and mauled him until he broke his face.
Do you think it's different with Du Plessis? Because he can wrestle.
He can wrestle. He's got very good jiu-jitsu. He hits fucking hard, and he's a big, durable dude. But I don't know if he's going to be able to wrestle with that guy. Like, I don't know, man. The Khamzat's skill is so high level, it makes me wonder.
Joe Rogan described Dricus Du Plessis as pretty scary, especially because of his size, which he sees as a big advantage. He pointed to a recent win where Du Plessis's stamina and breathing made a real difference. Rogan also mentioned Du Plessis's unusual, stuttering fighting style, saying it makes him unpredictable. While it may look awkward, Rogan explained that it's actually very technical and hard to imitate, something that gives Du Plessis a real edge.
Dricus is scary. That's a guy who's so big for 85.
The way he looked against, I didn't give him a chance against Robert Whitaker, and boy, was I wrong.
After he got a deviated septum surgery, I think, it's a big factor.
Yeah,
being able to breathe out your nose.
If you can't breathe, you can't fight.
Yeah. But it's Dricus looks awkward when he fight. He moves different, but that movement and that awkwardness makes him difficult to time. It's like his timing is off. And if you don't have anybody that can imitate that kind of stutter step motion that he does, it's deceptively technical. Deceptive.
On the other side, Caio Borralho said he's leaning toward Khamzat Chimaev, but admitted he's been wrong every time he's doubted Dricus Du Plessis. He joked that Du Plessis always proves him wrong and shuts his mouth. Caio predicted the fight could end early, much like Chimaev's bout with Whitaker, and gave Chimaev a 60% chance of finishing it quickly. Still, he gave Du Plessis a solid 40% chance of surviving the early pressure with his size and strength, something that could help him turn the tide in the later rounds.
What do you think it's going to take for DDP to stuff the takedowns in here and still?
Bro, this is crazy because I always bet against DDP and he always shut in my mouth. But I'm feeling like this can be a fight as fast as the fight with Khamzat and Whitaker, like finishing the first round or beginning of the second round, 60% of me say that Khamzat will finish this fight like real fast, but 40% says that Dricus, with his size and height and his weight, he's a big guy for the division. I think he can stop the takedowns or even survive the first two rounds, and then the fight gets better for him. So I'm 60-40 on these two options.
In an earlier interview, Caio Borralho also picked Khamzat Chimaev to win. He said most fighters make a mistake by preparing for Chimaev using traditional wrestling partners. According to Caio, Chimaev's grappling in MMA is unique and much harder to handle. He explained that it's not just about defending takedowns. You have to understand Chimaev's entire approach to stop him.
Khamzat fighting against Dricus. Who do you think he wins?
I think Khamzat is going to win because I don't see anyone preparing properly for Khamzat. They are bringing wrestlers to train them, to defend takedowns and all that, but Khamzat doesn't do the normal stuff. Khamzat doesn't do wrestling. He does MMA wrestling. It's different. You need to understand his system, what he wants next. You need to understand this first, and then you start to prepare for him. And I think Khamzat is going to win for me.
Former UFC champion Demetrius Johnson also shared his thoughts on this high-stakes middleweight clash. He stressed how important it will be to control the pace of the fight. Johnson said that if Dricus Du Plessis can keep things standing and stay off the ground, his unusual striking style could work in his favor. He also pointed out that Khamzat Chimaev has had trouble keeping up his pace in longer fights, which might give Du Plessis an opening later on. Still, Johnson warned that Chimaev's wrestling will always be a threat, and Du Plessis will need to stay sharp from start to finish.
If Chimaev cannot get him down,
he will. But yeah.
But let's say he does get him down.
Yep.
And he doesn't finish him, right? I think he's spent. Because you look at his fights. You look when he fought Gilbert Burns, when he fought Kamaru Usman. He had Kamaru Usman fully mounted, back hooks and everything, right?
Yep.
Working for the choke, pounding him, could not finish him. Couldn't get him. The rest of the time, he could not find it was shadow boxer. Granted, he might be sick or whatever.
Yep.
But if he cannot figure it out within those first 2 rounds or the first round he gets him down, I think DDP is going to do what he does best.
Yep.
He's going to be awkward. He's going to be, ha, 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 do the kicks. Yeah. And I think DDP is going to beat him.
Yeah.
Like I think Khamzat Chimaev is more athletic, more traditional, but I think that awkwardness of the old, what did he say? The lanky man style.
Yep.
I think DDP is going to put in the.
During a conversation with John Onik, Kenny Florian highlighted just how explosive Khamzat Chimaev is right from the start. He mentioned a discussion with Brian Petrie, who claimed Chimaev might be the most dangerous first-round fighter in UFC history, a statement Florian said is hard to disagree with. He pointed to Chimaev's quick domination of Robert Whittaker as proof, explaining that whether it's through grappling or striking, Chimaev has the power to finish a fight before it even gets going.
Petrie and I were talking about this, but Petrie was saying he's probably the best first-round fighter in UFC history, and he could be right. And people forget, we just saw him, crush the jaw of Robert Whittaker. Yes, he could do that as well. So he can take you down and maul you. He can submit you. And he can knock your ass out on the feet as well. And he can do it in a blink of an eye. That's how explosive Khamzat Chimaev is.